guys, Tracy here. I am coming to you this week from my family camper. You guys have seen this a couple of times, but I don't think I've actually shown you the back part of my camper where the beds raise up and it becomes a full toy hauler, which is what we're using it for right now this weekend, where we hold our four-wheelers and boat or canoes and things like that. And I also have the deck put out so you guys can see it. I apologize in getting this video to you guys late, but I have been super busy this week trying to get ready for this trip. We are spending a week camping and it's at one of our favorite places to be. We've waited about 10 years to get this one spot at this campsite because you have to reserve it so far in ahead. But you're about to see why we waited so long for this spot and why we're so excited to be here this weekend. So I want to show you real quick. Okay, this is the back of my camper, and that has a bathroom, and like I said, the beds come down, and that's another side door over there to be able to get in. And then this is my deck. Hopefully you can see it. It wraps all the way around the back, so the tailgate thing comes down, and it encircles all the way around. And this is where I can, come out here and drink coffee. It's like a porch. Come out here and do yoga. But I wanted to show you the mountain view. It's absolutely peaceful and serene and gorgeous out here. It's so secluded. Let's see. So this is what I'm surrounded by this morning. And you can see why I'm such a great mood. So I'm not a videographer, so hopefully that was good enough for you guys. But I'm so excited to bring you this tip. Like I said, I'm really sorry for it being late. I have been reading a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. It is an amazing book. It's been part of my journey on the Miracle Morning that has led me to that book, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And tip number 24 in this segment is all about that one thing. So you need to find out, what is your one thing? So as I mentioned in last week's video, I've been doing what's called the Miracle Morning. And I'm so thankful for having found this book, and I can only thank one person for that, Tanya, Eliza. When I took her branding course, that mantra that, God puts people in our lives for a reason, in our path for a reason, is so true. It came so true for me because she has led me to so many other resources that I never would have found without her course. So I am very thankful for that. This book is by a guy called Hal Elrod, and it's called The Miracle Morning. I highly suggest you guys read it. So here's what my Miracle Morning looks like. It's all about the word savers. Starts with, S. So S is for silence. When you wake up in the morning, you take a few minutes to meditate or pray or reflect on the day before and what you're going to do that day. Excuse me. So A is for affirmations. You need to come up with 2 or 3 affirmations that, speak to who you are and what you want out of life, what you want out of your family, your financial life, everything. Just wrap it all up into a big envelope and come up with 3 affirmations. One of mine, I'll share it with you, is I am 100% committed to becoming the healthiest person possible, to be a role model for my children and be around for them longer. And that is very important to me. So I am focusing on my health. I am about to turn 41. So I want to make sure that I'm in the best health possible. I mean, I know everybody has their card. It'll be their time when it's their time. But I want to do everything I can to be as healthy as possible to enjoy the time I have with them right now. So V is for visualization, and that is so important. But without visualization, or visualization without the action doesn't really produce any results. So keep that in mind. Whatever you can visualize. It doesn't mean something like, I wish I could meet Oprah Winfrey. That's, chances of that happening are probably not really good. So you need to visualize something else. Visualize what you're going to do that day. If you have a network marketing business or, a Mary Kay business or something like that, visualize that you're going to get 2 customers that day, or you're going to meet 2 new people that you can talk to about the business. So that's S and A and V. The E is exercise, and I kind of use yoga to combine my meditation and prayer time and exercise time together. Sometimes I separate it, but I do all of this first thing in the morning. And so that's SAVE. The R is for reading, and he doesn't mean reading fiction, drama and romance and sci-fi. He means reading, productive material, material that's going to teach you something, that's going to show you a different way to do something. You need to learn something new and absorb that information. And I also use it for my professional development time each day to learn something new about social media, about how to do that, or how to market my books, or something like that, how to help other people market their books so that I can share those tips with them. And the last thing is another S, and he had to make it make sense, so he couldn't do a W for writing, but that's basically what it is, scribing. Writing down all of your goals so that they become tangible. They're in front of you. Write them down at the beginning of your day. Write down 3 things that you want to accomplish, or 1 thing that you want to accomplish that day, to make sure you get it done. And if you don't get it done, move it to the next day. So it's called Lifesavers, and it's an amazing program. Now, like I said, people have put in our, okay, we're out in nature. That's a bee. Yep, that's a yellow jacket. The premise behind this program is that you're supposed to get up an hour earlier than you have to normally. So if you have a 9 to 5 job, you normally get up at 7 o'clock to start getting ready so you can beat traffic and everything. What he suggested was getting up an hour early, because most people's biggest complaint about not getting things done in their day is, I just don't have enough time. Well, this is how you find the time. So whether you work, it doesn't have to be the morning routine. It can be, if you go in at 11 to 7 or whatever, or if you go in, the graveyard shift, you can always do it an hour earlier than you normally have to get up. Now, normally that would be, because normally I would get up about 8, so that would be 7 o'clock for me, and that has become 7 o'clock. I actually got up about 6:45 today. Now, as I mentioned before, I believe that people are put in our paths for a reason. Just like Tanya, Eliza was put in my path for me to meet Hal Elrod in his books. Hal Elrod was put in my life to be able to suggest Gary Keller's book, and it is called The One Thing. I am on this path of personal development. I'm focusing on me. My kids are older now. I finally have this time, but don't wait as long as I did. I suggest you do it as soon as possible. Start this in your life so you can get the results that I've gotten, that took me a little while longer. But I've been doing it for about 2 weeks. This book, like I said, is called The One Thing. And the premise behind this book is that there is one, or basically people should focus on one thing instead of being multitaskers. Multitaskers basically are multi-failers, according to, his premise and the whole idea behind this book. He doesn't specifically say that, but that's the message I took away. Because they're focusing on too many things at one time. They're becoming okay at 1 or 2 things and not mastering anything really. So have you ever had so many things you got done for the day? You cleaned the bathroom, you got the laundry done, you did the grocery shopping, but you feel like you really didn't accomplish much? That's because you're multitasking. You're trying to get too many things done at once. So what he says is, companies like Coca-Cola, they focus on one thing, and they just put all their energy and efforts and money and time into that, and that's how they become successful. Tiger Woods, he was an athlete, or he is an athlete, and he didn't focus on, he might have been able to play basketball or softball, but he focused on golf, and he became an amazing golf player, a famous golf player. So if we focus on one thing, then perhaps that one thing is what we truly care most about. And when we take the time to write down the things that we do care about, and then we can narrow it down to that one thing is going to help us move to the next level in our lives. For most of my life, I thought that my one thing was writing. And for a while, it seemed like it was. I created curriculums for my children, and, books. I wrote books, and I wrote poems and stories and songs and all those types of things. However, after this journey of publishing, and now I help other authors even more than I focus on my own books. And I've closed down my daycare, as I've mentioned a few times. I did that for 14 years. So I knew that I enjoyed teaching. So I began thinking, the past few weeks when I was reading this book, that teaching was my one thing. And then I realized that, it's even deeper than that. It is helping people. It is helping their lives improve, and it just makes me feel good. So every time I wrote a story and people liked my stories, and I wrote a song and people at church liked my songs, and they told me it made them feel so good to hear that. They really needed to hear that. all I was doing with all of these things, writing my books, and sharing these things, is helping people. And that's what I truly, truly care about. That's what I'm most passionate about. So that is my one thing. Rather than focusing on my books or my writing or publishing or editing, even, my one thing is helping people. And I'm able to do that now. And I think that's why I'm so centered and balanced in my life and happy. In this book, he has a quote, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it says, "What is the one thing that you could do every day, such as by doing this, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary?" And just let that soak in for a minute. It makes so much sense. We are terrible at procrastinating about the things we don't enjoy doing. Who waits to the last minute to do their taxes? When you're cleaning house, what's the last room in the house that you want to clean? The bathroom. I know it is for me. So, whereas most people will say, I'm just saving that for last because it's going to take me so long and it's the least favorite thing I like to do. So, if I go ahead and get all my fun stuff done, then I'll have plenty of energy, or I'll be able to get that done last and I can be done with everything. And my children did this with their schoolwork as well. They would always tackle the fun stuff first. Hey, let's do art first. Let's do the easy classes first. And then they would end up spending so much time on that last thing that they needed to get done that they really didn't like, because they had expended all their energy and efforts and passion for the other things. And they had not much left. And that's what we do in life. Every part of our lives, every area of our lives is interconnected. So if you're sitting here saying, well, I just have financial problems, I just need to make more money. Well, what's the one thing that you can do every single day to get up and work toward making more money? Could it be making more phone calls to get more customers? Could it be going out and, like I said, if you do Mary Kay or beauty products or essential oils or something, going out and talking to women in grocery stores? The one thing that's holding us back that we really don't feel comfortable doing or we don't want to do, but we want the results from it. We want that bathroom clean, but we really don't want to go scrub that toilet. But that's life. You got to grow up, you got to mature, and you got to learn how to get these things done and learn how to enjoy the payoff afterwards. What if your problem is in your relationship and you just want to be closer to your spouse? You feel disconnected lately. What's the one thing you can get up and do every single day, that would make a huge difference in your relationship? Perhaps get up and make your spouse coffee, maybe make them breakfast, or maybe just do like I do with my husband and keep him motivated throughout the day, because I no longer work. I stay at home and I choose my own hours and my schedule and everything. And so he's still out in the field doing a real job, and so I want to make him feel good and let him know that I'm thinking about him and I appreciate all his hard work during the day. So I will send him little texts that just, it can be anything, and I won't tell you the things that I send him, but you can look up online and find your own things. These are special things between us. So it makes him feel special to know that I am stopping in the middle of my day with the kids and the homework and the schoolwork and my editing and everything to think about him. It really does go a long way. And we've been together for about 25 years. So I would say it's working. So, what about the other areas of your life, your health and your fitness? What's the one thing you could get up and do every single day to start your day off right? Drink water. Because when we're sleeping, we're dehydrated. And so you get up and immediately replenish that water, you already have more energy. Get up and do a few minutes of yoga or meditation or prayer. One thing to get your day started off right in a positive mode and an uplifting mood. Those things are connected. So if you're suffering about your financial life, if you're stressing about that, it carries over into your health, right? You're going to want to stress eat. You're going to want to, binge on junk food and things like that, comfort foods, things that make you feel good and feel better, because our emotions are connected to foods. So then you start not feeling good about yourself. You don't have the energy to, have a date night with your husband, and you don't have the motivation to put on that bathing suit or to put on that cute skirt to wear for him and look nice for him, or vice versa. It could be the same thing for men are subconscious about their looks as well, and a lot of women don't realize that. So maybe the husband just sits in his chair all the time and watches sports on TV because he just doesn't feel like he's desirable anymore. He doesn't feel like you care enough about him to even care what he looks like anymore. So think about that. like I said, you start feeling bad about yourself and it carries over into your relationship. So now you have relationship problems and you have health problems and you have, because it started with your financial problems. Don't let these things become weights in your life. Don't let them dictate how you feel and how you interact with your family. That's my very long tip number 24 in this segment this week. Figure out two things. Number one, what's the one thing holding you back that you're doing that you don't need to really be doing? And then what's the one thing that you do need to be doing to move forward in your life? You guys enjoyed the tips in this video this week. I urge you to share it with your friends who might need it. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you'll get tips just like this on your life, on how to improve your life, and things that you may have never even thought about. And I'm happy to pass this knowledge on to you guys. And I hope you have a great week and come back here next Friday. Hopefully I'll be on time this time for more great tips like this on how to keep your real life flowing as smoothly as you're writing. Take care.